Well, today I'm going to talk about perception. Um, if you've read the Christian Greek scriptures in the New Testament, um, Paul, Peter, and James, they talked about the way coming into disrepute, or people speaking badly about being a follower of Christ because of people's perception of the kingdom. Okay? It's actually gotten so bad that literally there's a stark contrast between the people who love God and serve God and the people who merely exist in a religion, and they're trying to have a checklist that pleases God, and then they're trying to check stuff off of this list so they can satisfy their own desires and get to heaven and a mansion with many rooms and their 40 virgins or whatever. They've turned things into an idol without even knowing it. Perception's pretty important. Why? Because if it wasn't, why would Satan spend so much time trying to get people to see something that clearly is not there? Why would he put so much effort into counterfeiting the way of truth? Because if he can take and he can hold up many different things, which hand's closer? This one? Or is this one? I mean, it's one of those things to where we really don't know what the deal is, because you really have to strive, you really have to pray, you really have to seek God to be able to cut through all of the stuff that masquerades as a relationship with God. See, that's why there are hundreds and hundreds of churches, and they really neither know God nor love God because of their behavior. You're always going to know what the truth is by what it produces. If you practice a thing, what does it produce in you? Does it make you loving, joyful, peaceful, kind, given to self-control, patient with others? Does it prompt you to think about others before you think of yourself? This is the way of truth. The other way is to be boastful, proud, disobedient, having no natural affection, having a form of godliness, but denying God by your very actions. It's terrible. You know, how can we know the difference if they both look very similar? Well, when he starts to show you things, ask him to show you. Have faith. It's impossible to please God without faith. Have faith that he'll show you what the deal is. Why do you think in Revelation it says, "Buy from me gold refined in the fire and salve for your eyes," so that you can put it on your eyes and you can see, so that this veil the world is drawn over your eyes can be parted, so that you'll perceive the real world around you. And literally, once you start doing that, you'll start seeing things as they really are, you know. And you'll see a church that's just terrible. I mean, when the scriptures were talking about a church, it wasn't talking about a building. It wasn't talking about um, a place of worship. It was talking about ecclesia, or the people when they get together, when they form a group of people. Okay, and that could happen anywhere. A building, a yard, a home, anywhere. And over the years, that's been transformed into this multi-billion-dollar industry. And right there, it should tell you that it's a counterfeit, because the knowledge of God should be free. The knowledge of God shouldn't cost you any type of money. Yet, there is a cost. When you truly follow the three commands of Christ, you have to consider the cost. What does it mean to love God with your whole heart, mind, soul, and spirit? Well, it means that you don't put anything before Him. Nothing. Nothing. What does it mean to truly love people? Well, for instance, stop trying to kill them. Stop trying to tell them they're going to burn and they're going to do other things. That just isn't a good thing. Stop being mean. What does it mean? What does it mean to truly love people? Well, when they do you wrong, don't repay evil for evil. Rather, repay evil with good. Isn't that what Jesus said? Bless those who persecute you. You'll start to know people by the words that come out of their mouth. If they're telling you they're all loving and they're all joyous, but yet by their actions they're being mean to somebody, that's not good. That's not something that says, hey, I love the true God. That says, I want it to look like I love the true God, because I'm building myself a kingdom. But inwardly, I no longer know the true God. Or if it's real bad, it's, I never knew the true God, but I don't want anybody else to know that, because I've built an empire here. So, I mean, that's why things have gotten this bad. So how do we fix it? How do we take it back? How do we change people's perception? We don't. That's not our job. Our job is to seek God with our whole heart, mind, soul, and spirit. And then when we find Him, to be an outward expression of His love. And then we'll bump into other people that love Him too. And that'll be very apparent. And then we're to stretch out in love to those people like Christ stretched out to us. Okay? That's what we're to do. That's our responsibility. Vengeance and setting things straight, the sanctification of Jehovah's name, all that stuff, that's totally His. This world wants to convince you that you have to stand up, you have to take it back, you have to maintain. That's not your job. Your job is to be peaceable to all men, to love everyone. Never repay evil for evil. If you take up the sword, you're going to die by it. Isn't that what Jesus said? Our job is to be a walking, talking billboard for God's kingdom. And it's a kingdom made up of His children. And we either will be known by our love or He won't know us. Literally, folks. Alright. Hopefully, this speaks to someone's heart, because He's never asked me to do anything yet that wasn't for a reason or a purpose. Thanks, everybody. Think about that.